Hello everybody, it's Aaran back from Screenstars, and I'm here once again to do another review for Geek Legion of Doom. And today it is my pleasure to bring you the review for Flesh Blanket. This is a 2017 film that was actually, from doing a little bit of research, it would seem was made around 2015, maybe a little bit earlier. And the reason why I say that is because the main star of this film, Ramsey, passed away in 2015, so it can only have been around that time when it was made. And this is a very bizarre film, guys. Very, very difficult to review. This is listed on the IMDb page as a comedy horror. In actual fact, it almost creates its own genre, this film. It's like a comedy horror, mockumentary found footage movie is the best way I can describe it, and it's pretty disturbing is this film, guys. And it focuses on a bunch of comics in America, real life comedians, who set out to film a controversial comedy concert in memory of some famous US comedian who died in the 60s, I believe. So it starts off with making a documentary about freedom of speech, etc., with these comedians pushing the boundaries. I'm from the UK, and unfortunately I don't recognise any of these comedians, but some of you guys might if you're from the US. We have Randall Reeder, Kato Kaelin, Christina De Rosa, Shelley Michelle, Georgia Van Cuylenburg, Ramsey Moore, Dina Laferte, Todd Rex, Adam Hunter, Brian Swinehart, Amanda Harrison, and they're all listed as themselves on IMDb, so they're actually playing themselves in this movie. So they get all these comedians at the beginning of this movie, cameras turned on, they're all playing off each other, playing adult games, getting drunk, having a laugh, and then they set off on this road trip to do this gig out in I think it's Arizona, somewhere like that. But in actual fact, what is going on with this movie is Ramsey Moore is having something of a nervous breakdown that results in him violently murdering a number of people on this trip. So it goes from the comedy of this is like the first 30-40 minutes of the movie, where they just turn the camera and all these comedians are riffing off each other, and that's the chaos comedy sort of thing, and even it's not that funny, that bit. And then it takes a very dark twist, this movie. And when I say this film is a dark comedy, guys, as dark as they get, I reiterate in capital letters, this is a dark comedy that is actually, to say I think this is his last performance. Ramsey Moore, who plays himself, I think gives a very unsettling and disturbed performance in this part, and I do applaud him for it, because at times I didn't know what I was watching and what was real. It was a very complex performance by him, and it really was very impressive. And this film has very fine lines in regards to documentary and then horror film, to the point where at the beginning you're not sure what you're watching. It almost looks like someone's just turned on a camera and let him get on with it. And that's the strength of this movie. It feels unscripted. But then when it goes into the horror territory, later into the film, it still feels unscripted almost. Because he likes to film everything that he's doing, Ramsey Moore. The horrific acts that he does in this film. So, it's a hard film to watch, guys, at times. It is quite disturbing and unsettling, and a difficult watch at times, because you genuinely feel like you're watching someone losing it and losing their mind and having a nervous breakdown, and it's all happening in front of you on screen. It's a very fascinating film, the way it's been done, this, and I do applaud the filmmakers for it, but it does border on obscene at times. 2 or 3 times in this film. I'm not sure I wanted to carry on watching it, I'll be honest. There are some disturbing scenes in this film, but very, very impactful, I would say. But you still, when it's done, this film, when it's finished, you don't know quite what you just watched, because you've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like this, because it blends so many genres into one. and you are left at the end wondering, what have you just watched? And it does feel real, what you've just watched, especially when you learn as well that, you know, the actor passed away in 2015. But I do applaud him for this performance, guys. It's a really layered, complex performance, and I completely believed it. You know, I really, really did. And I do applaud his performance in this. There's plenty of flesh in this movie, guys, not in regards to Ramsey, as you can see on screen there. There's, you know, some pretty looking ladies in this film that, you know, don't mind showing a bit of flesh here and there as well. It is fun, and if you do recognise any of these comedians, that you would probably find it fascinating in regards to what they're doing in this movie. But I'm going to give this film a 6 out of 10, guys, because I'm genuinely not sure how else to score it. I didn't like it, but I didn't dislike it, and the reason I didn't like it is because it just felt a bit wrong at times. But it's made in such a way that it is certainly different, guys. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. But it's a bit like Marmite, this one, guys. If you know what Marmite is, you'll either love it or you'll hate it. So there you go, guys. Flesh Blanket, give it a go if you really want to. Thanks for watching, everybody.